So hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today we have another astrology video for you today, and I'm going to be talking about how astrology can actually impact your personality and how it shapes your personality, and how looking at your chart can actually help you understand much more about yourself. One thing I love about astrology is that it's an amazing tool for self-discovery, and astrology has helped me understand so much about myself that I already knew, but I just didn't know how to be able to express, or even to bring a bit more clarity to how I even understand that situation in itself. So astrology didn't bring anything new to me, it just brought clarity. So I'm here to teach you how to be able to do that. And today we're going to be dealing with the personal planet. So if you're new to astrology, you're probably aware of your sun sign or your star sign or zodiac sign, but I'm here to tell you that you are more than just your sun sign. Astrology is so much more complex than just your sun sign. You have all of the planets in different placements with different aspects and angles to different planets that all tell you a story of what's actually going on in your life. And also it shows you a theme of what's been happening over lifetimes. If you actually understand about the incarnation and understand that this is just many cycles that we've been on, and we're just in another one right now. But so your natal chart shows you obviously this cycle that you're in, like what are the lessons that you're learning, what are the experiences that you're coming with, what's even your memory bank of experiences of past lives and everything. But I will go into all of those throughout my channel. I've already got some content that's already on my channel, and also some courses. I did do the Prison of the Moon workshop that went deeper into the moon signs and how you can understand much more about your karma through astrology with the moon sign as well. But that's another story for another day. Today we're dealing with the personality. And so now I'm going to start with so before I go into it, the personal planets are going to have a much more of a tangible effect on you than the transpersonal planets. So the much further planets like Pluto and Neptune and Uranus and Jupiter, these ones are going to be they're more felt in much more subtler ways depending on the placements and the aspects. So someone like myself, I have Pluto on my first house. So Pluto, the first house is the first to the seventh house is houses that are all above the horizon. So these are the aspects of self that are going to be visibly seen in my personality. And so Pluto on my first house, that brings a very dynamic and intense approach to my personality that people normally feel when they see me. So people normally pick up, okay, I feel a bit of Scorpio and I feel a bit of Pluto. Like, what's this mystery over here? Who are you? What do you do? So that's kind of that's how that plays out in my chart. But like I said, those are the transpersonal planets, are much more further planets. Today I'm going to be dealing with the personal planets. So this is going to be dealing with Moon, Mars, Mercury and Venus. So we start with your moon sign. So before I go into the moon, let me kind of break down the sun, moon and rising. I use this example all the time just to kind of illustrate how they all play out in regards to our personality. So you look at your sun sign would be like your front room. When you bring people to your home, where do they go to? Your front room. So this is the place that everyone's going to see. So this is where you're most comfortable. This is what you're mostly like. So that would be your sun sign, and really what you're growing into. That's the main lesson that you're growing into and evolving into for this lifetime. Then you have your rising sign. Your rising sign would be like your corridor in your home or your foyer. This would be the first thing that people see when they meet you. So the first impression that they get of you. When people meet me, they see my rising sign, my Scorpio rising. So that's what I mean about the whole mysterious kind of element to what people may feel when they see me. And the intensity that they may feel. So then you move on to the moon sign. The moon sign would be like your bedroom. This is what not everyone will be able to see. This is the most innermost parts of yourself that you only show to people if you're comfortable with them or if you feel safe. So this is a part that not everyone will get to explore from you. Or this is also a part of you that comes out when you're most triggered, when you react, or when you're inside, when you're really introverted into yourself. So this is a part that people may see. So the moon sign, and this is, I'm going to be talking about things in a very, very mundane, practical level. Again, this is for people who are just coming into astrology. So I'm just trying to get you to understand how this whole thing kind of works a little bit. So the moon sign is kind of like the sum up of your emotional state, your emotional nature. And this will reveal how you react to a situation. The moon moves very, very quickly. Let me just put this here as well. The moon moves very quickly. So the moon can change signs every 2 to 3 days. So a Sagittarius born on December the 10th will not be a Sagittarius born on December the 13th. 3 days apart, but two completely different people. So it's important to know where your moon sign is, or where you're just knowing your chart, because even if you're twins, you are not going to have the same chart as someone else. Your chart is just as unique as your fingerprint, because the planets are forever changing. In an hour, in minutes, transits are happening. Planets are aspecting other planets. So it's a very active world out there. So definitely know where your chart is. And if you do want to know your placements, I usually use astro.com, and I know this may confuse a lot of people, because you'll see the wheel and you'll see these glyphs and symbols, and it may create anxiety, because you'll be like, oh my gosh, what does it mean? But I promise you, astrology, once you understand the symbols, and you can look this up. You could go on to Google, type in symbol glyphs, astrology, aspect signs, meanings, interpretations, and you can kind of put together your chart yourself. If you do need assistance, I am an astrologist. I can also do your chart reading for you. You can head over to my website, www.soul-reconnection.com, for me to be able to book a session online. Now, I have loads of different types of readings, and I'm a different type of astrologer. Because I'm a therapist and because I'm a personal coach, I fuse a lot of these things into a coaching method for you to understand, for more so for self-discovery and more so for self-development. So this isn't just tell me about myself, tell me this, tell me that, tell me my future. That's not really what I'm about. I'm about evolution. I'm here to tell you how you can evolve yourself from your default patterns and your default settings. Okay, that's how I work. So back to the content. So how the moon works. Someone with their moon in a fire sign like Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius, so these are the fire signs, you guys are going to be a bit more quicker to react. You're going to have a bit more impatience about you because fire is very active. It's very sparky. You're going to have you're a person that's going to have a lot of energy, and you're the type of person who needs to release that energy in a healthy way. So you are very active, and you're going to be very different to, in contrast, a moon in Earth, which is a bit more reserved and a bit more conservative. So these are Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. So you guys are going to feel a bit more secure, or going to need to feel a bit more secure before you open up to people. Whereas a moon and fire sign, you guys are like, yeah, I can speak to anyone. Let me just express myself. Like, you just guys want to express. You're very active. Whereas, obviously, earth sign, you're going to be having a bit more introvert, a bit more of an introverted aspect to that. So, you also do not like very dramatic displays of emotion. So you need things to just be very simple, very calm, very sensual, very cool, calm and collected. And that's just you. You're just very simple. Whereas air sign moons, you guys are going to be, so this is Gemini, Libra and Aquarius. You guys like to talk about your feelings. You like to communicate. You like to connect. You really like to understand what you're feeling through speaking to other people. And this may make you come across very emotionally detached sometimes, because sometimes you can over intellectualize your emotions, and so you have to be very careful, and sometimes that can trap you in this cycle of almost holding yourself in an illusion when your mental health is actually going down, because you're not aware. Like you may distract yourself somewhere else and not actually be paying attention to the reality of what's happening to your emotions. So air signs, definitely be very, very careful of that. And be careful of not getting trapped too much in your head. There's still the balance of heart. And then if you got on the other side, water moons, which sometimes can get trapped in the heart and not use the head enough. So water moons like Cancer, Scorpio and Pisces, you guys are much more sensitive. Everything gets you, but this also makes you extremely intuitive. And I just want to say that intuition, just because you're a water sign, doesn't make you the only ones that's intuitive. Intuition plays out in so many different ways across the elements. You know, if you're earth sign, you're going to be much more clairsentient, so being able to pick up information through your senses. Air signs, you'll be much more it'd be like telepathy and channeling with that. So it plays out differently with all the elements. There's no hierarchy of intuition. Like I say all the time, everyone has intuition. It's just, do you use it? Do you listen? Do you pay attention? So with water signs, your emotions can run extremely deep, and sometimes it's very hard to be able to escape them. And especially Scorpio moons like myself, our emotions are incredibly intense and sometimes incredibly dark, but essentially it's for transformation. And so it's all about learning to feel through those emotions rather than learning to escape them, because when you feel through them and you really see and face all of what you're actually experiencing, that's when you can actually transform it, because you're actually now understanding what's brought you here, and now you're determined to actually change that cycle. So yeah, as I said, with your intuition, you can also pick up energies around you extremely good, whether good or bad, because you're just very sensitive. It's water. Like if you touch water, it's gonna ripple because it's that sensitive. That's you guys. So now we move on to Mercury. So your Mercury sign indicates how you communicate. Mercury never strays too far from the sun, so in most cases it may fall in the same sign as your sun sign or the sign afterwards. So I'm a sun sign in Gemini, but I'm a Mercury in Taurus, which is 4. So it may come just before or just after. Sorry guys, bear with me, I'm tired. I'm filming a good few videos today. So those with Mercury in air, your mind is extremely overactive. So you're always thinking, sometimes overthinking, sometimes overanalyzing, sometimes can be overcritical. So you have to be very careful of that to make sure you keep the balance. But you're constantly craving mental stimulation. And sometimes when that doesn't come, it can create a lot of anxiety or create almost this feeling of scattered thoughts or scattered foggy brain. So a Mercury in a fire sign, this is going to make someone much more assertive and have a bit more direct communication style. They're the types of people who want to get things done right away. They don't like to procrastinate, and they like to take pride in their strong opinions. You know, they're just like, yes, this is me. I have this. Like, yeah, I'm not very good in interpretation of that. I'm Mercury in Taurus, so let me keep myself in my Mercury in Taurus lane, okay? So then we at the opposite end, Earth Mercuries like myself, So that's Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. You are the types of people who like to take time to arrive at a decision. It's not very impulsive, but you are the types of people who like to go through the process. Everything's a process. It's not about how quick, it's how far I can endure this thing and what value can be produced from that. So you like to analyze all parts of a situation before you actually give your opinion on it. So if I'm in a room of if I'm in a debate, I will actually listen to what everyone else has to say before I actually chime in, just so that I can actually know that I'm speaking on purpose. Like, I'm not just saying random things for the sake of saying it, but I'm saying it because I understand exactly what the course of the conversation is. So there's that. So then you move on to someone with a Mercury and a water sign. And sometimes it's very hard for them to separate their thoughts from their feelings because it's all just meshed together. But however, they're really, really good at listening to other people. They're very, very receptive, and they're really good at being able to nurture other people and encourage other people. Just knowing the right things to say, that is just like, oh my gosh, like I needed to hear that right now. That's your water sign Mercury's. So now we move on to Venus. And Venus is the planet of love and money. Again, this is very mundane, goes so much deeper, but just for the purpose of this video, it's about love and money. So this influences your approach to flirting and how you engage in your relationships, as well as your material tastes. So a fire sign Venus is going to be a bit more upfront about their feelings. So if they like someone, they're going to be like, I like you, I want you, you're in my bed right now, and I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, I'm going to do this. Like, they are so upfront and very in your face, want an adventure, want to just party, like just very, yeah, that type of person. It's not me, I'm Earth. So with I've lost my thingy. So they may find it very hard to kind of sit back and allow someone to come to them, because they are the types of go-getters. They have to be able to grab things like that, like they just need it now type, very impulsive type characters. So they're also not only impulsive in their relationships, but also with their money. They can be very impulsive. So their spending habits, again, Venus is very much connected to money and your value and your worth and your possessions. So you definitely want to pay attention to your Venus and your second house and all of the aspects around that if you want to understand how money plays out in your personality. And even seeing the aspects to your Mercury, because I believe that mental health is very much connected to how we spend money. So if you really want to know, understand that connection between your mind and your money and your ability to attract, definitely look at your Venus and your Mercury sign together. But yeah, then we come into air sign Venuses. So they are a bit more unconventional in their relationships. They need partners that can communicate well, because it's air sign. They need to speak, they need to express. That's how they express themselves. That's how they feel life, by being able to express themselves. And also not only with their communication, but with their material purchases as well. They're attracted to items that have a more artistic and cultural reference. Things have to mean something or have some type of meaning. So in contrast to a Venus in air, and they can always be very, very social with their relationships as well. So they're the types of people who can be with a lot of people at one time. But in contrast, Earth Venuses, they need a bit more stability, and a bit more, they don't like in unpredictability. Like, things can't be unpredictable with them. They need to know, like, I'm stable, how things is going, my finances, everything is moving in the right direction. So they, even with money, they'll never buy something just for the sake of just spending money. They'll be very careful about where they're actually spending their money. So even with me, if I'm given £100, I will get as many things for that £100 than just buy one thing that is worth £100. Like, I'm not that type of person. That's why I don't buy name brands and things. It's not really me. I'm like value for money rather than like just buying because you can. But water Venus, these guys are more emotional. They're going to be the most emotional when it comes to love, and they are also going to be given a lot when it comes to their partners, and they're the types of people who won't entertain a relationship unless they feel a deeper connection to that person. They can't just be with someone for the sake of having, or being with someone, or just having casual sex or anything like that. They actually need to have that deep emotional connection with the person that they're with. Again, you need to pay attention to aspects as to how this plays out, because it can vary in so many different ways. But also when it comes to money, their money tends to go on items that help them feel more relaxed or make them feel more at home, because they need that water, that nurturing aspect of things as well. So that's your Venus. So now we move on to Mars. Mars can tell you a lot about how a person expresses their anger and their aggression and their passion, or what is it that they really like to do, what lights them up, like what gives them life. That can also link to your sun as well, because sun really is what actually gives you life. But Mars is like what gets you going, what gives you what drives you. That's what your Mars is. So it explains why some people are more assertive in certain areas and some people are not. I'm Mars in Aries, so I'm just gonna be like, that's just me. And the type of intent, like I said with Pluto on my first, the type of intensity that I have, I don't expect everyone else to have. So even with the way that I'm committed to things and the way that I just like, yeah, I'm doing it, like I'm determined. Pluto is Scorpio is also ruled by Mars, and Pluto. So I'm gonna have that element play out in there. Whereas someone else may not have the same thing. And your Mars sign will be able to differentiate people with these different qualities. So when Mars is in a home when Mars is in a home fire sign like Aries or Sagittarius or Leo, it's easy to tell when that person is mad. Like, listen, when I'm mad, it's all written all over my face. You cannot deny it, and it's coming out. You know, I can't hold that back. And my temper is very quick, but I'm not gonna be mad at that same thing at that intensity for that amount of time, because it's just that quick. So while other people may tend to flee from confrontation, when Mars is in a fire sign, it's not going to move. It's like, no, I want all the smoke. Give me all the smoke. Okay? Where if it's in a water sign, the fieriness of that energy is going to be toned down. So you're not going to feel like, you know, you're going to want to retreat and just be like, I just want peace. I just want tranquility, harmony. You know, this is what I want. I don't want no drama. I don't want no smoke. Please, no. So you are the people that may struggle to stand up for yourself and continually be taken advantage of, and maybe continually intimidated, or maybe feel inclined to follow other people because you don't feel strong in yourself. If someone argues with you, you're going to turn to tears, because it's like, no, I don't want to argue. Like, it's not me. Like, can we just have peace, please? Whereas Mars in air is also like, I want all the smoke. Like, they will come and argue with you until, don't argue with a Mars in air. You don't want that argument, because you will not win. They're very good debaters, and they prefer to dominate themselves by their words, so they can really get it going. Whilst an Earth Mars is a bit more slow to anger, and they will only get aggressive when continually provoked. Like, they're not gonna just kick off at you just for the sake of doing it. They like to have a bit more control over their feelings. Just like, for example, Taurus. The opposite of Taurus is Scorpio. Whereas Scorpio will be like, listen, I will blow you, I will sting you. Taurus understands that it has that intensity, so will do what it can to make sure that it can control itself. So that's how like water and earth kind of plays out in itself. With you're also very reluctant to kind of voice your frustrations because you don't really want to shake the ground either. Especially what's it called? Taurus. All of them. Capricorn. Virgo is a bit different. Because you guys will voice it, but will voice it in the most irritating ways. And this is coming from a biased Gemini. But you know, I'm just saying. But I'm hoping that this made a bit of sense to you guys, and helped you understand a bit more about how the personal planets work in astrology. And you can look this up in your own charts. Go and look at where your sun sign is, look where your moon sign is, look where your Mars sign is, and look where your Mercury sign is, and just begin to understand, oh my gosh, like this actually makes sense. Like, this makes sense in terms of how I communicate or how I am in my relationships. Venus in Aquarius, I'm a bit unorthodox with the types of relationships that I may get into. Venus in Sag, I love a bit of adventure, I love a bit of a thrill. Like, you know, you get to understand the different parts of yourself through these aspects. So let me know how you found this exercise, and let me know how you found this video. Let me know if it was informative, what you learned about yourself. Definitely comment below, and remember to like, share and subscribe this video. And yeah, I will see you on the other side.